Welcome, curious minds, to a world of knowledge and discovery. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Radioman. We hope you find it enlightening. Radioman RM was a rating for United States Navy and United States Coast Guard enlisted personnel, specializing in communications technology. In this section, we'll be peeling back the layers of history of the rating to reveal its true essence. The rating was created originally in 1921. In 1997, under the direction of Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Mike Border, the rating merged with the Data Processing Technician DP rating to form the Information Systems Technician IT rating. Both Radioman and data processing technicians in the Navy had to undergo general rate training and take a computer-based exam in order to be designated under the new IT rating. In 1996, the submarine force merged Radioman with Electronics Technicians Electronic Warfare Specialist. The Coast Guard rating was renamed Telecommunications Specialist TC in 1995, which split in July 2003 to make up the Information System Technician IT and Operations Specialist OS ratings. As we venture forward, let's examine scope of work in detail and gain a deeper appreciation for its significance. The radiomen of the U.S. Navy were responsible for transmitting and receiving radio signals and processing all forms of telecommunications through various transmission media aboard ships, aircraft, and at shore facilities. This was done utilizing various frequencies in the ELF, VLF, LF, MF, HF, VHF, UHF, SHF, and EHF spectrums. The type of circuits maintained included voice and data circuits between the ships of a battle group and allied units. Their duties also included message systems for generalized broadcasts and unit-specific messages that were handled based on message priority and handling procedures. They were also responsible for the proper handling and destruction of classified material. Radiomen were also responsible for periodic maintenance of the communications equipment, to include transmitters, receivers, and antennas. In this segment, we'll be unraveling the complexities of positions and exploring its multifaceted nature. The positions generally found in the ship's radio shack included broadcast operator, responsible for keeping track of incoming traffic; task group or STS-TGO operator, responsible for the operation of a teletypewriter circuit and the use of signals while communicating with ships in the general operating area of the designated task force. The TGO operator would coordinate the transmission of messages inter-task force and would also, on occasion, help to coordinate the position, course, and speed of approaching replenishment vessels for underway replenishment UNREP or vertical replenishment VERTREP during underway deployments. Message Center, Main Communications MAINCOMM Supervisor, responsible for the supervision of the message center. The MAINCOMM supervisor would hold quarters before his team of radiomen went in to take over from the previous watch section and would also make sure that his section was properly trained for the various positions in Radio Central. The MAINCOMM supervisor was also responsible to maintain discipline and leadership guidance for the radiomen that worked under him and would also submit evaluations on his crew to the chain of command. Facilities Control FACCON Supervisor, responsible for the supervision of the facilities control area. This supervisor, much like the MAINCOMM supervisor, would do similar duties, but was responsible for the safe operation of shipboard electronic radio equipment and the associated peripheral equipment, such as quality monitoring systems, as well as the maintenance and upkeep of the communications plan COMPLAN, as well as the operational frequency board. Inbound-outbound traffic checker, responsible for ensuring that all accountability of all message traffic reach appropriate designated departments as well as proper delivery of messages. This was generally considered a key position, but was often designated to junior radiomen, particularly on board smaller vessels. On an aircraft carrier, this position was generally assigned to a second-class petty officer or below. Repredistro operator, responsible for ensuring routed messages were appropriately slotted to the various departments' shipboard. This position was generally assigned to pay grade E3 and below personnel, where their technical prowess and accuracy of running off copies of messages were closely monitored by the MAINCOMM supervisor. CRYPTO operator, responsible for ensuring that the cryptographic equipment was in good working order and that the appropriate keying material changes were made in a timely manner. This operator would often work with the Communications Security Material Systems CMS custodian for key changeovers as well as inspections and inventory checks of cryptographic materials and associated electronic equipment. Teletype TTY repairman, responsible for the maintenance and repair of teletype equipment on board ship as well as shore stations. This position required a high degree of mechanical dexterity with a limited knowledge of electricity and electronics. Typically, teletype repairmen, prior to attending TTY repair school in Norfolk, Virginia, had to take a basic course in electricity and electronics and pass it before being accepted onto TTY repair school. In-router, responsible for ensuring that all inbound message traffic was properly routed to the various departments on board ship. Outrouter, responsible for designating outbound messages' serial numbers, date-time group, and verification that messages were signed and released by appropriate officers with release authority. Also looked up and appended the routing for various addressees prior to transmission, until the advent of automated addressing, after which the only router was IULYSUU or IUHGSUU etc., which changed, except for SU, depending on which communications station was expected to accept the traffic. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.